Hey there and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for being here. You guys already can tell, look who I'm back with.
Hello!
Want to give a little introduction for those who don't know you?
I'm Chloe. My Instagram's gonna be linked below.
She's taking it upon herself to say.
We're here for our reoccurring series.
Exactly, which you guys love. You guys absolutely love this series. So this video is going to be a mix of answering some of the questions that we got on our older videos that I feel like we always forget about every time we sit down and answer videos. So we're going to make sure to answer some of the ones that you guys asked us. We're just going to kind of pick and choose our favorites, and then I feel like we might even go off into tangents and talk about our own things. Exactly, our own things this time of year. So it's going to be great. It's going to be fun. But we're going to go ahead and get into the video. So grab your cup of tea, whatever, a snack, and let's get started.
Cheers!
So we grabbed a blanket, we're nice and cozy, we're ready to answer your questions, and we picked out a couple because we unfortunately can't answer everything, but we picked out some that seemed juicy enough, good enough for us. And the first one is, so this user says, not sex, but how do you get such girly friends? My friends never want to shop or do anything I like. Well,
that hurts my heart to hear.
Exactly, because I'm lucky
enough
enough
for you.
Exactly, I'm lucky enough to have a lot of friends who do those things with me, but I understand sometimes it's hard to like meet people. There is a Bumble BFF option, and I've used it before, and I've like met some friends that way and met some like pretty cool people.
I think it's super cool. Like, it's hard to meet people otherwise. If you don't work at a place like where you have friends who like the same thing at your job, like where do you meet people?
Exactly. That's why I think like doing something like that is kind of genius, because in 2019, like I feel like it's very rare now to go out and meet people in person. Like especially I've noticed since moving to Toronto, like it's so much harder to just organically meet people. So you have to kind of take those steps to meet people in more of like a forced or rather like intentional way. And that's why something like Bumble BFF is just such a good idea, because you can meet people in the same way that you would meet like a potential partner and know that you guys have those same interests and those same things that you want to bond on. Sometimes I find when you meet people, like you meet friends like that you all work with, like you realize when one person leaves the group or like you leave that job, you're not friends with them anymore. Yeah, because it was purely just because you worked in the same place.
Yeah.
And it was out of convenience. I like the idea of being able to like meet people who
like
are
you said,
super
intentional, and, like that you're looking for someone who has the same like values and interests as you, and you know that you'll have like a good lasting friendship, not just because they're there.
And like also say you don't want to go like the Bumble route. I mean, there are other ways to also meet people who have the same interests as yours. Like you could just even like look on Instagram and see if there are people like local to you who kind of have the same interests, and see if like other people are like posting about going shopping, or if you feel up to the task like when you're out shopping yourself, because to be honest, I go shopping alone all the time.
Yeah. And
I've met friends that way, or at least like talk to people and stuff like that. So I actually was with Allie the other day, and we were sitting at a restaurant or something, and we both thought our waiter looked really cool. She had like a really good sense of style, and like after I was like, you seem like a really cool person, like do you want to be friends? And she's like, yes. She's like, I'm new to the town, I don't have a lot of friends, so like the fact that you just said that is amazing, and yes, I absolutely would love to be friends, and please actually follow through, because nobody ever does this anymore. So
yeah, exactly. Step outside of your comfort zone a little bit. Even if you think like, yeah, you see someone wearing something cute, be like, oh my god, I
seems
love
like they love shopping too.
Like, have a conversation with them. It doesn't have to be super hard.
I mean, like, not gonna lie, that's why we became friends.
Yeah, we met on, well,
Instagram.
I mean, I used to read your blog, and then we met on Instagram.
But I noticed you because you were like aesthetic queen. I was like, yes, I need to be friends with this person.
And now we're here.
Exactly. So it's really just no matter what you do, no matter what way you pursue it, just kind of getting out of your comfort zone.
How can I start online dating for the first time in my 30s and not be nervous?
I should also mention that this question comes from a male. Like, I know the person who like asked it, so it might be like a little bit different. It's going to be like what we all experienced when we went through dating for the first time, so it's always going to be a little bit nerve-wracking. It's always going to be a little bit scary. It's trying something new for the first time, but that doesn't mean that you can't build up the confidence to go out there and date. Starting on a dating app is the best way to go. And it's really hard to meet people in person regardless of who you are. And that's
hard not to be nervous, and like that gives you a chance to kind of find your ground with the person and like see how you talk to each other before meeting them in person, which is 10 times more nerve-wracking.
And take it slow. Like, don't expect to dive right in like you're dipping a toe right now. And from there, just kind of like slowly talk to people, even if you talk to people without any expectation. Like, you both know you want to date, but at the same time, like, you don't want to rush into anything. So just take it slow.
And like, let yourself like make mistakes. Like, it's gonna happen. Not every single date is gonna go exactly how you want it to, but you have to just keep trying and you'll find that person.
And don't take rejection personally either.
Yeah, exactly.
When boys are sweet to me, it almost makes me uncomfortable. How do I get over that? Well, first off, I feel like we need a little bit of context.
Yeah.
Like, in what way? Like, does it make you uncomfortable, like, you're skeeving me out? Or does it make you uncomfortable, like, I can't handle a compliment?
Yeah, and I think, I feel like there's different levels of uncomfortable, and you kind of have to be able to tell between them, like, what you're feeling. Like, because I know that I feel uncomfortable when people compliment me, like, especially guys, just because, like, I'm kind of nervous and, like, insecure in that way, and there's nothing wrong with that, but they shouldn't make you feel, like, scared.
We're gonna take the approach of assuming that you mean, like, it just makes you a little bit nervous because getting compliments from a boy you like can make you nervous, or a girl, whoever. Actually, she said boy, so a boy you like.
Whatever person you like.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's more of, like, a you thing, I feel like. I don't know that there's anything you can, like, ask for if it really is about, like, insecurities about receiving comments.
Because, like, you don't want to be like, stop complimenting me.
Yeah, because then if you don't get the compliments, then it's going to make you feel, like, even worse about not getting the compliments. I feel like
you need to understand why you feel that way when someone compliments you and try and work on that.
Is it that you don't believe it?
Yeah, because that's what it sounds like to me, and like, you have to learn to believe it. You're beautiful and you're strong and powerful, and you deserve to feel that about yourself. And the more you don't, the worse you're gonna feel.
I have the perfect answer.
Yeah.
Get yourself a Chloe who just like smothers you in compliments.
The Pisces. That's what you need. It's a Pisces thing.
Exactly. And you'll find yourself believing them in no time.
That is a good point. You do need people surrounding you like that are building you up, and it's good that he's doing that for you, and you should let him do that for you, because I don't know, you need it. I don't know. I love that validation from other people, like, and like love and care. It makes you feel good.
Okay, so our next question is how to deal with insecurities. Like, obviously they wouldn't be with me if they weren't physically attracted to me. So how do you deal with insecurities? And to be honest with you, I think you need to start there with.
That's what the root of it is. How do you deal with these insecurities, and how do you move past them?
I mean, you made a good comment yourself, like, you need to understand that a person's not going to be with you in any capacity if they're not physically attracted to you. It seems like you can logically understand that somebody is attracted to you, but I understand at the same time how hard it is to address this subconscious part. I mean, in my personal experience, I've had a lot of trial and error, like being with people and realizing, like, well, nobody's kicked me out of bed. Like, clearly people enjoy being physical with me, and that obviously proves to me that all these like things that I'm saying about myself are not true. Like, I'm clearly just like creating something that's not there.
I think part of it for me, and I don't know if this is necessarily like good advice or not, but I feel like you kind of have to fake it until you start actually believing it.
Yeah.
Because like, when I wasn't feeling so great about myself, but I approached people in the way that I did feel good about myself, there's a huge difference in how they react to you and like what you get back from them. So when you show people that confidence, you start getting it back more from other people, all the good vibes, and then it kind of becomes second nature after a while. And like I said, I just started believing it myself. I was like, oh, maybe I am pretty, like maybe I am funny, like maybe people do like to be around me.
And to some capacity, I mean, again, sometimes it's hard to answer these because we don't have the full context, but if you're in a position right now where you're still new to the dating scene, maybe it could be that you haven't had enough positive experiences yet, and in time, I think, I mean, I don't want you to say, like, go sleep with a bunch of people, because that's not the way to do it. For instance, like, my ex-boyfriend before my current boyfriend, I was very insecure with him. Like, super insecure at first. But over time, with having just been with him and seeing that his attraction to me was genuine, I then realized, all right, okay, he's actually into me. And I think sometimes with experience, like Chloe said, is you just kind of gotta fake it, or at least like attempt to fake it, attempt to realize, all right, like I know I'm self-sabotaging here, I know that it's my insecurities speaking and not like logic and real honest, you know, fact speaking, and that I'm being insecure about things that aren't real, and that this person really does has physical attraction for me. And if it's somebody that you feel comfortable talking to about, communication's super important in any situation.
Communicating that with them, and don't believe the little voice all the time.
Exactly.
Just because it's you communicating with yourself doesn't mean that you're always right, and that's why you need to communicate with other people to kind of extinguish those thoughts sometimes.
Hell, even if it's a friend, like if you don't want to go talk to them, that's fair. That's a side of vulnerability that not everyone's comfortable
exactly.
with. But I know you probably have a friend out there that you can talk to about it. I mean, even just us, right, asking this question, like we're here to remind you that like people want to be with you for you. That includes physically, emotionally, spiritually, what have you.
Your natural, like, organic self is like so beautiful and powerful, and you need to believe that, and you need other people who help you believe that.
All right, now we're moving to some YouTube questions.
So what role does physical attraction play in your pursuit in relationships? What are red flags you look for on a first date / starting to talk? Do you prefer well-groomed people or ungroomed people? Okay, let's break this into 3 parts.
Yes, that was a big, lengthy question.
What role does physical attraction play in your pursuit in relationships?
I mean, I think it's kind of silly to completely, like, rule, like... we're visual creatures. We are all visual creatures. Physical attraction is going to...
play some part.
I mean,
even if, like... whether you're on Bumble or whether you're in the street, the first thing that happens is you seeing that person. Generally you don't hear them talking or you know what I mean, before running into them. So I mean, it kind of plays a part.
I will say this though. So recently, so there was somebody that I purely started seeing based off of not the physical attraction that I had, because I mean, not to say anything against them. I don't think anyone's like ugly. I think people just have different ideas. I don't think anyone's like ugly per se. I just think everyone has like different
tastes. Yeah. I say this all the time to my friends because they'll be like, "Oh, you're a 10," and I'm like, "No,
not a 10 to everyone.
I'm a 9, and then to that perfect person, like I'm a 10.
Exactly.
Like I'm their 10. 10's a special like thing that's reserved."
And I think that everyone has a 10 out there, but this person specifically, like for me at least, we purely connected because of the connection, right? Like I felt very at ease talking to them. It was like you were with an old friend even though they were new, and that's where the attraction for me came. And then the physical attraction sort of developed more. Exactly.
You can't cut everyone off right away, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like just because they're like, it's a short guy, you won't date him. Who cares?
Oh my god, yeah, exactly. That short guy
love a short king.
Let's call it at like 70-30. You know what I mean? Like 70% attraction and like 30% like...
And like,
we're meeting people
all of my ex-boyfriends have been ugly, so like clearly I don't judge.
I mean, Tara, honestly, my ex-boyfriend, when I met my ex-boyfriend, I remember not being that physically attracted to him. Like, I was like, he's not my type, but then the attraction kind of grew, and now that I'm like not with him anymore, I'm just like...
I think it's just because I was like more insecure, so I was like, well, he likes me. I don't think you have to settle, and I don't feel like you should ever feel like you're settling in a relationship. I think that means like you're just not with the right person, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And then at the same time, you can meet somebody who's fucking gorgeous, and they're absolutely awful, and then they become ugly just because of that.
Like I just feel like you can't hold it against
people. You do
people.
this all the time.
I know.
We're reading these off of my phone, and Chloe always like goes to just like open it and I'm like, give it to me.
I can't. It's not my phone.
Oh, there's another part to that question. So, what are red flags you look for on a first date starting to talk?
Okay. For all of you who do this, again, all of my ex-boyfriends, stop mentioning your ex-girlfriend in the first 30 minutes of the date.
Oh,
why does this happen so often? Like, that's not a good sign for me. And I try to not talk about my exes because I don't want to seem like I'm not over them. so why are all of you doing this? Please don't do that.
I can't imagine that mentioning your ex would have any place in a conversation unless you specifically said, so tell me about your exes. Like, why mention your exes?
Why are you throwing it in the conversation? I don't get it. Like, and then I have to be like, okay, cool. Do I have to mention my exes now? Like, are we having a competition?
Can you like give me an example of like how they bring it up? Because I'm very curious.
Like, okay, so a while ago I was on the date with this guy, and like, this is what I mean about just throwing it in there. We were not talking about anything like related to our exes.
Right.
And then he was like, oh yeah, I went on a date last night with a girl. I was like, why are you telling me this? This is our first date. Why am I receiving this information already? The thing is, like, if we had said something, like, if we were, like, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, like, then I would be like, okay, I want to know, like, if you're still dating people. But, like, I'm just meeting you. Like, you can, like, slow it down.
I almost feel like they're saying that to, like, make you jealous a little bit.
That's what I was thinking, too. I think it's just an insecurity thing. Like, they want to make it seem like girls like them, but, like, I don't like that. I'm the only girl that you like.
Don't do that. If somebody does that, walk away. But if you are somebody who does that, stop it. I would say one red flag that I have is like if you're like at a restaurant and they're like really mean to the waitress or the waiter, like that to me, or like if they make any like
tip badly, I'm like
that. But if they make any like comments about like women or like they make like any
kind of race comment, any gender comment, like it's like I'm already kind of like
that's to me it's like no, I'm not gonna get along with you.
Like trans and like gender issues are kind of a hot topic right now. As soon as those are thrown in, I'm like, I'm listening very closely to what you're about to say.
I mean, like, first dates are really like job interviews. Like, you don't really get comfortable being yourself with somebody until maybe like the third or fourth date, where like you're not really like looking to see if this is a person you're going to see anymore. Like at that point, you've kind of established that you're going to see them.
The first date for me is just looking for red flags.
Exactly. I'm like a very career-oriented and focused person, and this isn't necessarily like a date, but this was like the communication. So I guess also you said like talking to, but like I kind of mentioned that like I was busy working and like gonna be super busy, and then this person like I know that like sometimes you can like be jokey and flirty and be like, oh haha, I won't distract you, but then if like I follow up and say it's like, oh thank you for understanding or like respecting that, like don't keep like pushing me, because I feel like that's gonna be somebody who like will not respect
your boundaries at any point.
It's like they're gonna keep trying to push you, and then they're gonna lay that guilt on you and stuff. And
not even in that, and it doesn't even have to be in that situation specifically. But if you feel like they're already pushing, and again, stepping out of your comfort zone isn't a bad thing. But if you feel like they're pushing on those boundaries, like they're gonna be doing that continuously. It's not gonna change. Like
exactly, because they don't think it's serious. They don't think that your boundaries. And I mean, like obviously the situation I said it's like not that serious, but for me it like did irk me, because I'm like I don't want to have to keep telling you like I'm not gonna go bail on all of this like paper, like giant pile of paperwork that I have to do because you like want to hang out with me for 10 minutes, like you know what I mean. It just it's
someone not seeing the value in your work or the value in like what
and even just the value in your boundaries. So that for me too is like anybody who kind of says things like that where they like past like the first initial like joking of it, like because I've made jokes like that where it's like, oh I won't distract you and ha 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 winky face, like, and then if they're like, oh please do, then you continue. But if you're just like thanks, don't, and they continue, it's like, well dude, like I'm not interested in this right now. Do you prefer well-groomed people or ungroomed people? I mean, can you see us? I think you can answer that question. I'm a well-groomed person. She's a well-groomed person. That's how we choose to present ourselves in this world. Like we love it. It's a genuine art form for us. It's something we enjoy doing. So I'm not gonna like expect people I see to be this on the same level.
You don't have to come flossing every time.
Exactly. But like with that being said, if you're literally, and this happened to me once, where if I'm at least showering before the date and you come straight from the gym and you're still in the same gym clothes you were, which this has freaking happened, and you're just like expecting like me to be like cuddle with you and do those things and be intimate, like we're not doing that, because I think anybody wants a groomed person who's going to like at least like smell decent.
Kind of personal opinion.
I mean, like I don't really know what you mean by groomed. Like, do you mean like put together, like stylish, or do you mean groomed as in like they've combed their hair before they've left the house?
And for me, that's something that I want to be able to enjoy, like with my partner. Like, again, I'm not saying you have to be walking down like the runways, but like I like style. I like getting dressed. It would be fun to be able to enjoy that with someone and have someone who cares about it too. Like, we can get our hair done together. It'll be cute.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I think it's just like, to be a stylish person means that obviously like style attracts you in other people.
Can Chloe give a little background on herself? Is she from Toronto? Career, relationship status? Okay. It's so hard talking about yourself when people ask you to talk about yourself,
they love
right?
You, Chloe.
Give the people what they want.
Exactly. A YouTube channel, right? Right?
I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm not from Toronto. I live in Burlington. I've lived in Burlington for most of my life. I lived in Hamilton and Toronto for a little bit, but mostly Burlington. Career. Well, other than being a professional, beautiful person, no, I work like 5 jobs, so that's fun for me.
Yeah, she's like one of the most hardworking people I know. Like, I love Chloe, and the only reason you don't see more of Chloe on my channel is just because she's always working.
I work 7 days a week. Like I said, I work 5 jobs. Like, I'm not actually joking with that. I won't go into them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I work a lot. I want to own a small business eventually.
Yeah.
Once I make some money from working all these 5 jobs. And I mean, like, again, I'd love to like do this more. Like, my dream would be to like be a famous model or be a YouTube star.
Give us thumbs up if you want us to make a podcast, because we like mentioned it earlier, and I would love to make a podcast with you. I want to make a podcast so bad.
We have a lot of interesting opinions on things that I'm sure you'd all love to hear.
We could answer your questions like every
we could
week.
go through all of them because there's
Exactly.
so many of them. Oh my god, that would be so much fun.
Exactly.
I love answering questions like this.
Exactly.
Relationship status, I am single right now. So I'm single. So if any hot boys want to marry me, let me know.
Exactly.
We could have a cute farm together.
You want a farm?
Yeah, wouldn't it be cute? I'm gonna have some chickens and some pigs
Oh my God,
and a cow.
You would go out to feed your chickens in them like this pink, like this cheetah pink.
I get bees and have an all pink beekeeper outfit.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be like bedazzled.
Like, yeah, like a cute farm and like some horses, but like nothing like crazy. Just like, you know, like a little bit. And at that point, I better have like my Gucci gardening gloves on. That's mostly me. I don't know what else to say about a background on myself. I'm a Pisces, like I said earlier. I'll just give you my whole start. I'm a Pisces sun, I'm a Capricorn moon, and my rising is Gemini. So I feel like that's all you need to know about me.
We'll go into that.
We'll figure it out. Oh my god, that would be a fun podcast. We'll just read our charts.
Podcast, yes. Or we can like get somebody in here who like does that, and they can like honestly,
we can read cards one day. We can read tarot cards.
Yes.
We'll get some good stuff coming
We will.
for you guys.
You know what? We're gonna freaking
We're
do
both
it.
very interesting.
Podcast 2019.
Yeah.
Like dead serious.
Okay, let's actually pinky promise for the camera.
Yes.
For you guys.
And then you guys bombard us with comments about how it has to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question. My boyfriend of 1 year and I are going from long distance relationship to living together. Any advice for this transition? I think, I mean, I don't know, because I feel like, I mean, I haven't been there yet, but what I can say from somebody who just like visits Boston a lot, you know, if you're not familiar with the area yet, or if you're kind of new to the area, the things that come up for me when I moved to a new area, or like in general, was that it felt like very lonely and isolated. If I had known then what I know now, I probably would have made more of an effort to like make local friends. And as we mentioned, like there's Bumble BFF, because you are gonna kind of like deal with the feelings of isolation and loneliness, and like you know, you can love your person as much as possible, but your person can't like fulfill every single need you have. I mean, I consider Gil to be like my best friend and my partner, but at the same time, like we need multiple friends in our lives to like serve different purposes. So like I think that like doing that, and then also if you're not super familiar with the area, maybe you can like do some exploring on your own and stuff like that. So it can be a really weird transition. And I know for me, like I'm even just thinking like transition from like my previous home until here, and like how that was really hard at first. And I still do have some like days where it feels like a little bit weird. But all I can say is like make a conscious effort to make your new place feel like home, and that's like bringing in candles that you really like that have like a calming scent to you, bringing in like little thing like your stuff, unpack right away, make sure everything of yours is like out, because the more you kind of have it packed away, the less it'll feel like your space. Moving in general is like really stressful and hard.
And I think as a transition to going from being long distance to living with someone, I think you have to kind of be prepared for things to not be exactly what you're dreaming for a little bit. Like, you have to find a whole new routine when you're living with someone. It's very different, the routine that you get in being away from each other from what it is like every day.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, you have to figure out what that person lives like. Are they a clean person? Are they a tidy person? You don't know until you like actually live with them.
Yeah, I don't know like the longest you've ever visited your significant other for. I'm lucky in that when I go visit Gil, I go to visit for decent. So like, I basically know what it's like
living with him. Yeah, exactly. Whereas like, if you only visited for a couple days, like, you don't really get like a full
They're on their best behavior for you.
Yeah, that's a vacation technically.
Exactly.
For them. Like,
so just like get comfortable with the fact that like Chloe said, it's not going to be exactly what you think. At least not right away.
Yeah.
Because now you've got to figure out what a new normal is, and as much as you can like love your person, like you're giving up a lot of yourself in the process. And I feel like any partner that moves somewhere to be with their significant other, like, they're
you have to understand their mindset coming into it. And if you are that person who is having your partner come in, like we're saying, do things that help them feel comfortable. Make a space for them. Give them an area.
Like, if you guys are moving to like a new place together and like they have the option to bring a lot of their old furniture, like have them leave something behind and have you two pick something new together. Like, that could even be like a dresser, like a night table.
It's something that you're joining in on together, and you're making it like both of your space.
Exactly.
Like, instead of just like your home that they're coming into. And again, like we were saying, like, be prepared for things to be rocky a little bit and understand where they're coming from. They're sacrificing a lot.
Communicate.
Like,
we keep coming back to this communication thing, but genuinely speaking, like, okay, I watch a lot of 90 Day Fiancé.
and a lot of the problem goes people
it's just they
communicate
don't talk
with each other.
I know, even like when I officially make the move to Boston to live with Gil, like, as much as I know and understand it, like, it's gonna be hard, and I know the only way we're really gonna get through it is for me to communicate, like, hey, today I'm just feeling really homesick. Like, just have that conversation between the two of you, between it officially becomes like a real deal. Like, just be like, we promise to like really communicate with one another if we're ever feeling like nervous. And you might even have feelings like, oh my god, what have I done, like, why did I do this? Like, communicate that.
I think
and
that's
work
normal
around it.
and natural to feel that way.
I mean, hell, I felt like, literally, like, I felt that from moving from my old town here. I was like, what did I do? Like, I was comfortable where I was, there was so much comfort, but like, it's impossible, even if you know you're gonna end up loving it, not to feel like some sense of fear, because change is hard, no matter how good the change is for you, no matter how much you want the change. Like, Chloe can attest to the fact that, like, I used to literally talk for hours about how bad I wanted to move out. Now that I moved out, like, there of course is that fear in the beginning, and that's because change is hard. Like, so just make sure you're like communicating that, and also like recognizing your own feelings too. So I hope that answers the question. Exactly. All right, well, I think that's all the questions. We didn't have a crazy amount this time, but we are, again, always happy to come back, and I genuinely mean this. Convince this girl to do a podcast with me. She was the one that brought it up. Anyways, we love doing this for you guys. This is always so much fun to have Chloe here for my videos. Yay.
Thank you.
We're gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. So again, thank you guys so much for sending your questions. Let us know if you have any in the comments below. Really just like bombard us, ask us anything. Don't forget, you can find new videos from me every Wednesday and every Sunday, with vlogs on Friday and new blog posts every Tuesday and every Thursday. And I'll see you next time. Bye!
I'm feeling you could be the one. I see no reason why I should ever let you go.